Hello, I'm Maddie Casto. So I got a Twitter notification about 2 weeks ago, and I'm new to the tweeting world, so that's always interesting. But someone found me and said, "Hey, we like your profile, belting lady. We kind of want you to submit about following your dreams." And, I made a couple different videos and I was thinking about it and, I'm immersing myself in my current performing job and on the search of getting another job. And it kind of hit me midway that following your dream comes in many different stages and in many different ways. So instead of making one video, I've made a couple and spliced it together of many different ways of following your dream. So it's in a couple different sections. One shot where I work, one after a big audition in New York, after I traveled too many hours, after many canceled flights and a train ride, and didn't get any sleep, and learned many different crucial things in one day, and how even after all of that, and a normal day in the life of an actor following their dream, I think that explains more of following a dream than just one thing, more than just saying, I like this show because it sounded pretty and it changed my life because she hit high notes. I think following your dream is hard. I think it's scary. I think it's worth waking up every day for. And I think it's worth dreaming about every night. And I think it's worth sacrificing holidays with your family and the truth that you miss so much of a normal life because you've chosen an extraordinary life in the everyday life. And that's hard to find out as a young performer. But thank God for everybody else ahead of me who has taught me their life and all those that I get to teach along the way and all the people now and around me that have inspired me. So here is the life of someone following their dream. Hi, I'm Maddie Casto. Welcome to White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. This is one of my mini jobs that I've had outside once I graduated from college, from Wright State University. I got my BFA in musical theater in 2011. Theater's always been a part of my life. I don't remember a time when it wasn't. I wasn't a girl that grew up on Disney movies. When I couldn't sleep at night or when I was bored, my mom would always put on Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals or Seven Brides for Seven Brothers or Showboat. And so that's what I grew up with. And I've kind of always had that, in my heart and in my mind. And I just remember being in my first high school musical and I was like, well, this is it. This is it. This is all I wanted to do. And, granted, you had to get all the right grades, so they would let you do theater. But I just remember senior year, and someone's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to go to school for? And it hit me. I could do this. I could. And I had no idea what I was doing, as much as I thought that I did. I had no idea. I didn't know how to pick a monologue. I didn't know the songs that you couldn't sing at auditions, because, of course, who doesn't want to sing Les Mis or Cats? Well, maybe not Cats. But I did it. I packed up with my dad and we drove across the country and I auditioned for 12 schools. Everybody does the audition trail. And I remember when I auditioned at Wright State, I was in line with, two people that later became my best friends. And I remember going in and something behind those doors in front of that table of people that would later become some of my greatest friends and teachers, something changed. And it's one of those moments that you won't forget that, you're telling a story for people that don't know how. And I think it became more than just the applause or singing the highest belting note or, having that great feeling of getting flowers or whatever it might be. But I felt then that there was a bigger point to reaching a dream. And I think that's why I'm here today in White Sulphur Springs. And I work as an entertainer, a singer and dancer. But here is also where I've met people that are challenging me to believe in what is the ultimate goal. What is your dream? People can say, yeah, I want to be on Broadway. Who doesn't want to be on Broadway? But that is so vague. Sure, you want to be on Broadway? Do you want to be selling programs? Do you want to be in the back and the chorus? Those are wonderful things, but it's so much more that if you want a dream, you have to know it. And this is the first time in my life that I've been comfortable in saying, this is what I want. And so today, when I'm 25, graduated, working as an entertainer and as an actor, I'm reaching my dream. And, I've decided that, Broadway is the thing, but there's so many things I want to do beforehand. But, it's those moments that change your life. It's more than just Rodgers and Hammerstein. It's more than a story that you want to tell. It's something that you have to do before you take your last breath. And I think that's why theater is here every day. Every day. You wake up and you want to hear the Flesh Failures, or you want to hear Good Morning Baltimore, or you want to hear, Many a New Day, or anything. And, that you have the moment to change someone's life because yours was changed. And, I've narrowed down those dreams, and I guess being here in West Virginia has given that perspective, and doing all the tours that I've done and all the shows that I've done outside of school. And I realized that there are things that I want to do for me and things that I want to do for the people that have given me so much. And ultimately, I have to play Mama Rose. That is just without question. And, my dad always likes to joke that, one day you'll be Mrs. Potts. You'll have to be Mrs. Potts. Because I remember my first Disney audition, my dad's like, so who are you going to be in Disney? I was like, excuse me. He's like, well, you're Mrs. Potts. And I have to play Anna Leon Owens for my mom. I'm not really a Rodgers and Hammerstein girl outside of the Ado Annie and the big mouth Ethel Merman kind of characters. But there's something about Anna and her truth of being a strong-willed woman against a man, and so much that Rodgers and Hammerstein had to say about women and their respect to it that I've never forgotten and have really appreciated learning about as I've grown up in the theater world. And I have to do that for her because she was the one who started me on this thing. And it's interesting because theater, was not only something that just made sense, but it became a family when things got tough with my family. And one of those things was with my mom. And for a long time there wasn't a really tight relationship, but I felt like that was still our connection, that we still had theater even when things were bad. We still had that common ground, that safety to come back to. And so I feel that playing Anna and her truthfulness would be a gift for my mom. So that is today's theater inspiration, and why I feel that meeting Tara Rubin and that whole world would be a dream come true. Because the very first show I saw ever, I was 7 years old. I remember my grandma got us all tickets and we saw Phantom of the Opera. And I just remember being terrified when the chandelier exploded, but as it rose, I wasn't scared anymore. And, there's those things that you have to do. Like, I have to play Mama Rose, and I have to play Anna Leon Owens, and, being on Broadway, it's just something you have to do. But if I could just be in the group of performers that sing Masquerade every night in those ridiculous costumes, I would cry, just because it's something so deep. It's like meeting your child hero. It's meeting Captain America. It's, lifting 500 pounds. It's learning the quadratic equation. It's curing cancer. And that's what it is. And I think theater gives that. And I have the possibility. I know that I can do this. I know that I'm doing this. And I know I'm right for it. So, Mama Rose, Anna Leon Owens, Phantom, here I come. Thank you so much.
It's really early. Like, I'm going to get up and go to a Nanak audition early. I am. And so I just traveled too much to get to New York. I took 3 flights, got canceled. Had to take a train from Dulles. Well, I took a cab from Dulles to the middle of D.C. Took a late train from D.C. to New York. I didn't get in until yesterday morning at 3:30. And I had a really big callback at 10. I've been working on it for a long time. It's hard with video submissions when you're working somewhere else. So I'm not going to say what it was for or who it was for. But rode up in the elevator with the head casting director, and because I hadn't slept in 2 days, didn't know who it was. It's a big no-no in this world, which I realized. Because when I went in to sing and read some sides, you could tell that makes a difference. So after all this work, got to sing a song and read like 8 lines, and was said, "No, that's good. You're good to go." Well, that's the kiss of death. Being back in New York is already interesting. I was walking around at, well, my appointment was at 10:30, and it was 11 o'clock, and I was like, well, what do I do now? It's pretty depressing feeling. Especially when, you go from job to job, or, I've done the catering thing. I've moved to New York. I've done all the things that are not the best part, I guess you just wake up again and go to another call. This is one of the harder ends of the lollipop when you're following your dream. That's for sure. But saw a show last night. That's always very inspiring. Saw Bullets Over Broadway, and I'm here for a week to see shows and audition as much as I can and see my girls before I head back to West Virginia. Following dreams is hard. Waking up this early is hard after not sleeping. Oh, especially when you're in your roommate's room, someone's subletting your room. It's been since last October since you've been in New York. Everything's kind of upside down. It's wonderful to be in New York City, but it's also like having a panic attack at the same time. Oh, but here I am, following dreams. My suitcase has still not arrived from LaGuardia. I had to buy makeup and underwear at the CVS next to Pearl Studios. That was fun. Here we are, following dreams. I gotta go get ready for audition number 2. All right, cruise line, I come belt my face off for ya. Thank you so much for watching my very long How I'm Reaching My Dream video. And once again, my name is Maddie Casto, signing off from White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, following my dreams one day at a time.